Lately, I've been thinking a lot about the atmosphere we create for each other. Not politics, not policies, not even systems. People. The emotional environment we walk into every day. Because whether we realize it or not, human beings react to environments. We react to tension, to kindness, to sarcasm, to patience, to outrage, to calm. And the strange part is, most of us don't think of ourselves as part of that environment. We think of the world as something happening to us. But what if we're also quietly shaping it? What if the way we speak, the way we react, the way we handle frustration, disagreement, stress, or even small daily interactions is influencing the emotional climate other people are living inside? And no, this doesn't mean systems don't matter. They absolutely do. But human behavior still shapes the environment those systems operate inside. And honestly, I think we underestimate how much that matters, because change usually doesn't begin with one giant dramatic moment. A lot of the time, it starts much closer than we think. Most of us notice the environment around us. Fewer of us stop to ask how we might be contributing to it. Truth check. So today, I want to talk about something we don't always notice. The quiet ways human behavior spreads. Not just through huge events, but through repeated everyday interactions. Because the atmosphere around us, it doesn't appear out of nowhere. We build it together. I think most of us understand influence in big ways, big speeches, big movements, big moments in history. But honestly, a lot of human influence is much quieter than that. It's the coworker who stays calm when everyone else is escalating, the person who listens instead of instantly attacking, the family member who changes the tone of the room just by how they respond. Or the opposite. One sarcastic comment can shift an entire conversation. One angry reaction can raise the tension in a room. One dismissive response can make someone else defensive before they even realize it. Human beings are constantly reacting to emotional signals from each other, and those emotional reactions ripple outward. You can actually feel this sometimes when you walk into a room. You can feel tension or warmth or stress or peace before anyone even explains what happened. And online, it spreads even faster. Fear spreads, outrage spreads, mockery spreads, and so do patience, curiosity, humor, grace, and emotional steadiness. And I don't think we talk enough about that part, because we often act like culture is something created somewhere out there by famous people, politicians, influencers, or the media. But culture is also built in ordinary human interactions, in comments, in conversations, in homes, in friendships, in stores, in traffic, in churches, in schools. Everyday repeated interactions quietly shape what starts to feel normal. And over time, those repeated interactions become atmosphere. We don't just react to the world around us. We help create the emotional climate other people are living inside. Truth check. Because here's what surprised me when I really started thinking about all this. Most influence doesn't look dramatic. A lot of the time, it looks small, quiet, almost forgettable, and yet somehow those moments still shape people, still shape environments, still shape what happens next. I can think of people who affected my life deeply, and I honestly don't think they realized they were doing it. Maybe you can too. A teacher, a coach, a neighbor, a friend, someone who changed the emotional atmosphere around you, even briefly. For me, one of those people was my high school French teacher, Madame Goldberg. High school was hard for me in a lot of ways, but French class felt different, lighter, safer. My best friend Joe and I used to leave Madame Goldberg ridiculous notes in franglais, half French, half nonsense. And instead of shutting it down, she joined in. She wrote back an even sillier franglais. It sounds tiny. Honestly, if you had watched it happening, you probably wouldn't have thought much of it at all. But it mattered to me because what she created in that classroom wasn't just a lesson. It was an environment, an atmosphere where two quiet kids felt seen, safe enough to be playful, safe enough to be creative, safe enough to relax a little. And honestly, I don't think she ever realized how deeply that stayed with me. That's the part I keep coming back to. We often underestimate what small human behavior does to other people. One calm response can lower tension. One patient person can steady a room. One encouraging interaction can stay with someone for years. And the opposite is true too. One cruel comment can linger. One sarcastic reaction can spread tension. One dismissive interaction can shut someone down. Because human beings don't just react to events, we react to emotional environments. And we help create those environments for each other all the time. The way we respond affects tone. What we engage with spreads. What we reward grows. And most of the time, we don't even realize we're shaping what happens next. Small human choices often matter far more than we think, especially the ones that quietly shape how other people feel around us. Truth check. Here's another part I don't think we always notice. The world around us doesn't just respond to what we say we want. A lot of the time, it responds to what we reward. And we reward things constantly, with attention, with reactions, with engagement, with what we repeat, with what we ignore. We say we want less outrage, less hostility, less constant tension. But sometimes, without meaning to, we give the most attention to the very behavior we say we dislike. Outrage spreads because people react to it. Mockery spreads because people engage with it. Escalation spreads because escalation gets attention. And honestly, I don't even say that judgmentally. I think human beings are naturally drawn to emotionally charged things. They grab our attention faster. They feel urgent. They make us react before we fully think. But over time, what consistently gets attention starts feeling normal. And what feels normal starts shaping culture. That's true online, but it's also true in everyday life, in families, in friendships, in workspaces, in communities. If sarcasm constantly gets rewarded, sarcasm grows. If cruelty gets laughs, cruelty spreads. If calmness gets dismissed as weakness, eventually fewer people risk being calm. But the opposite is true too. Patience can spread. Steadiness can spread. Curiosity can spread. Thoughtfulness can spread. And I think that matters more than we realize, because what we consistently reward doesn't just reflect the emotional climate around us. It helps create it. What grows around us is often connected to what we repeatedly give our attention, energy, and reinforcement to. Truth check. And eventually, this reaches beyond everyday conversations, because emotional climates don't just shape relationships, they also shape culture, and culture shapes what people tolerate, what people normalize, what people reward, and eventually, who rises. The way people behave publicly doesn't happen in isolation. Leaders respond to environments too. Media responds to environments. Algorithms respond to environments. Public figures respond to environments. And over time, the emotional climate around us starts influencing what feels acceptable, what feels persuasive, and even what feels strong. If outrage constantly gets rewarded, we'll keep getting more outrage. If cruelty gets excused because it's coming from our side, eventually cruelty starts feeling normal. If mockery gets applause, more people learn to communicate through mockery. And honestly, I think this is one of the hardest parts for all of us, because sometimes we overlook behavior we would normally dislike because we agree with the larger goal or the person saying it or the side it benefits. And I'm not saying that judgmentally. I think almost all human beings are vulnerable to that. Me too. But when we consistently reward behavior politically, socially, culturally, personally, we help create more of it, whether we intended to or not. The environments we reinforce today often become the environments we live in tomorrow. Truth check. This isn't about being perfect. It's not about fixing everything. Sometimes it just looks like this: pausing before reacting, choosing curiosity even once, asking why might they be thinking that way, not escalating something even when you could. Sometimes it looks like pausing long enough to consciously and intentionally choose what actually helps. In the heat of the moment, we are rarely our wisest selves, and most of us know exactly what it feels like to wish we had paused first. Hard to admit, right? Me too. Truth check. I think a lot of regret comes from reactions we never stop to examine. Sometimes the damage happens in seconds, and the regret lasts much longer. And I've started realizing I want more "I'm glad I did" moments in my life than "I wish I hadn't" ones. So through my window today, maybe the question isn't just what needs to change. Maybe it's where do I actually have influence? Because the truth is, we quietly help create the emotional atmosphere other people are living inside, even in ways we never fully see. Through our tone, our reactions, our attention, what we reward, what we normalize. And we're not going to do that perfectly. I'm definitely not. Maya Angelou once said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better." I love that quote because it leaves room for growth, for mistakes, for reflection, for becoming more intentional over time. Maybe change starts there first. When have you seen one reaction completely change the tone of a room, conversation, or relationship? This week, notice one moment where you feel the urge to react immediately. Pause and ask yourself, what would actually help here? This channel isn't about censoring or forcing people to agree. It's about slowing down long enough to really listen, understand different perspectives, and approach discussions with thoughtful reflection together. I welcome different views, I really do, but respect matters here. If you disagree, explain why. If you see it differently, share your perspective. Here, our differences are strengths, and they're starting points for deeper understanding, not weapons. And if you'd like a little extra help shaping your reply, I've linked my 3 Ps in Action comment edition in the description. It's the same process I use myself to pause, pinpoint truth, and proceed with purposeful forethought. The emotional climate around us doesn't appear out of nowhere. We shape it together. So maybe that means the most powerful place to start is closer than we think. If you find these reflections valuable, hitting the thumbs up, sharing this with a friend, or subscribing helps bring more people into the conversation. And I'm really glad you're here. Remember, pause, pinpoint truth, proceed with purposeful forethought. Join the conversation. See you next time.